Welcome to CRE Radio and TV. I'm your host, Howard Klein. Today we're going to be talking about the challenges of multi-use properties and various ways that you can overcome those challenges. Our special guest is Laurie Baker, the 2016 president of Crew Network and senior vice president of Camden Property Trust. But first, this show is brought to you by The Broker List, the CRE community's first free online platform for finding brokers, deals, services, and vendors. And Quantum Listing is the new mobile crowdsourced real estate listing app for commercial real estate agents, owners, and tenants. We're going to talk a little bit about mixed use.
Okay.
Because I'm currently, as an attorney, on one matter with mixed use, and it's really kind of complicated. What are your thoughts on mixed use?
Yeah, we have found that although a lot of municipalities would like to have mixed use, they like the idea of kind of creating communities within a community, and they'd like to have kind of a walkable area with retail below, restaurants. It makes a lot of sense in kind of in concept and theory, but it's problematic. It's really difficult for our multifamily residents to live on top of restaurants, so to speak. You got issues with venting, the scents, the smells, and then you have issues with parking. And where do the patrons that want to come and visit these retail establishments, where do they park? Do you have street parking? And if not, do you allow them parking within your multifamily community? And then you also have the issues with the hours.
But it does work under certain circumstances. The ideal now is an urban environment.
Right. Yeah. I mean, for instance, we have a brand new development in Glendale, California, where we have a Starbucks. The hours of that operation is probably quite conducive for our residents. They love the opportunity to walk out of their apartment. They can just walk straight over to the Starbucks, and then that's not something that you got a lot of loud noises coming late at night. We just opened a brand new property in LA called the Camden. It's in Hollywood, and we have a whole fitness center in the entire first floor almost of the property, which is the Equinox, and it's highly desirable, and it's a location in itself that's creating some buzz. So that's very attractive for our residents. So, it works. You just have to be very creative, and sometimes you have to walk away from a potential tenant of a retail space that's not going to be conducive for the kind of the long-term benefits for the multifamily residents that are living at that property.
It does cause some problems, though, sometimes filling up the commercial space.
Right. Well, I can give you a case in point. So we developed a property in downtown D.C. It's called Camden South Capitol. We're right across the street from National Stadium, and we were required as part of kind of our zoning approvals to have retail. And, this is a $100 million property, gorgeous asset, right along, the border of where the waterfront is. However, we were on the other side of the development where Forest City is developing this beautiful waterfront area, and it's not as attractive where we're located for retail, and it's been a challenge. So after about 5 years of having vacant space, we have been we've gotten approval to turn them into work-live units, and that's a lot more attractive for the individuals, and we're even getting some of the baseball players from the Nationals that are interested in that space.
Work-live units, those are the commercial units, right?
Yeah, they're the commercial units that we've turned into livable space, high ceilings. It's a kind of a cool concept, and that allows people to be able to, if they want to office out of their home, it's very conducive for artists or just individuals that really don't have to drive into an office space and could work right there in their living quarters.
Service providers too, like lawyers, accountants.
Yeah, architects. It's interesting who is attractive to that space. Sometimes it's a little different than we think. It could be a pharmaceutical rep that just has their home office as where they live, and then they need to be able to easily get to an airport, easily get across the city and travel.
Well, That's very creative. I like that idea.
Yeah, and we've done it also in Long Beach, where we had a lot of retail space that was required when we first built the property more than 10 years ago. And then a lot of the newer areas where people really want to be walking to for retail is happening, somewhere a little, it's very close, but down the street, and they're going to be in an area where there's a lot more action taking place. And so our apartment community, although it was a great idea to kind of spur retail and walkability and development, didn't necessarily work out the way everybody had envisioned, and the city of Long Beach has allowed us to also convert those units to kind of a live-work unit.
This show is brought to you by The Broker List, the CRE community's first free online platform for finding brokers, deals, services, and vendors. And Quantum Listing is the new mobile crowdsourced real estate listing app for commercial real estate agents, owners, and tenants. Howard F. Klein, attorney focusing on commercial real estate leasing, when experience counts.